Hi friends, welcome to this video. Chanel just launched the new concealer, the new Ultra Le Teint concealer, and I thought it's going to be interesting to compare it to everyone's favorite Sublimage concealer from Chanel. So today's video is going to be Chanel Beauty Battle. Which one is going to be the winner? You're going to let me know at the end of this video, but we are putting these two concealers to the test today. If you're new to my channel, a very special welcome. I love Chanel makeup, and for more than 10 years I tried everything from Chanel makeup. In case you're interested in the brand, also make sure to check out my Chanel Masterclass series. These are my series where I talk about Chanel beauty and I share with you the best Chanel makeup products and how to use them. If you're returning, welcome back, beautiful friends. You know that I was going to do this comparison. A lot of you asked actually for a comparison between those two concealers. When Chanel launched their Sublimage concealer, the whole beauty community fell in love with this concealer. It was voted to be the best concealer for aging skin, because it doesn't settle into fine lines. At the same time, it stays all day long. It feels very comfortable on the under eye area, and it also has the benefits of the Sublimage skincare line from Chanel. Have I tried the Sublimage skincare line? Of course, yes, I've tried everything from Chanel. It's really good, and it's their premium skincare line. It is quite expensive, and the Sublimage concealer has the iconic for the Sublimage line vanilla planifolia extract. But in this video, we're going to see if this concealer remains the best one from Chanel, or if the new Ultra Le Teint concealer is going to be better. We are going to do a wear test on my skin. Before we start with the demo, let's make this video a little bit more interesting. Today in this video, I'm wearing the two concealers. Each one is on different side of my face. I'm not going to tell you which side is which. You are going to see in the demo. Let me know if you can tell the difference, and let me know if you like one side better than the other, or the two sides look completely the same. Let me know what you think. Which side do you prefer? Pause the video now and leave me a comment. Okay, I'm very curious to read your comments. No cheating. I have been wearing the concealers for approximately an hour and a half now. So before I show you the demo of the concealers, I want to give you a little bit more information about the Sublimage concealer and the Ultra Le Teint concealer, because these are two completely different concealers with similar claims, but still a little bit different and not quite the same. The iconic Sublimage concealer from Chanel. This is the concealer that everyone raves about, and the whole beauty community fell in love with this concealer instantly. The Sublimage concealer is the most luxurious and the most expensive concealer that Chanel currently have. It comes in a jar packaging, which was the only downside that a lot of people were pointing out. I myself didn't like the packaging when the concealer was first released. It comes in this very luxurious jar. It looks like an eye cream. The amount of product that you are getting is 10 grams of product. It is incredibly luxurious, I have to say. It comes with its own little brush, which is very convenient, and it's actually very high quality. You can use this brush. It's not just an add-on, but I would say that it's a brush that you can actually use, and it's very, very good quality. It comes with its own spatula to take out the product. The concealer itself is very creamy. It's very pleasant. I'm wearing the shade B10 in both concealers and also in Chanel's foundations. This concealer doesn't settle into fine lines, it doesn't crease, and it was voted to be the best concealer for aging skin and for mature skin because it doesn't settle into fine lines and because of the benefits that it offers. A little goes a long way with this concealer. When this concealer was first launched, a lot of people, including myself, were afraid that this one, when you start to open the jar and close it, it is going to dry out quickly. It doesn't dry out quickly. It is made in a way that it is going to keep and preserve its consistency for a long time. So as long as you can use your regular concealers that come in these tubes, you can use this concealer without worrying that the consistency is going to change. The consistency does not change. You can use it for more than a year and it's still good to use. Now, do you like the jar packaging? It all depends on you. It's a little beauty ritual to actually open the jar and use the concealer, but you shouldn't worry that opening the jar is going to affect the concealer in some way. It doesn't affect the concealer in any way. You can use the concealer for more than a year. I've used mine for a year and a half. Nothing happens to the jar. The concealer is still good. Now we're moving on to the newly released Ultra Le Teint concealer from Chanel. I just reviewed this concealer and I was blown away. It is so beautiful. The consistency is very lightweight. This concealer was created to match the Ultra Le Teint foundation from Chanel, which is the highest coverage foundation from Chanel. Chanel do not have a full coverage foundation because the philosophy of the brand is not to cover the skin, but just to enhance natural beauty. However, the Ultra Le Teint foundation has solid medium coverage to full coverage, as well as the concealer. It has a solid medium coverage. What's surprising about this concealer is that it's very lightweight. It almost feels like a serum foundation. The consistency is very lightweight. It feels like nothing under the eyes. It blends into the skin seamlessly. And I've already tried it. It lasts all day long without creasing and without moving. It doesn't emphasize fine lines. The claims are to offer 12 hours weightless finish and flawless finish on the skin to blur lines, imperfections, and I have to say that I agree with all the claims on this new Ultra Le Teint concealer from Chanel. It does last from morning until evening without touch-ups. I find that on my skin it lasts even without setting it with powder. I love that it stays all day long. I don't have to worry that the concealer is going to move, and it doesn't make my under eye area drier than it is. It's very lightweight, it's very pleasant to use, and I believe that it doesn't have any fragrance actually. So what is the difference between these two concealers, Sublimage and Ultra Le Teint? The Sublimage concealer is going to focus more on the skin caring benefits. It is the most luxurious concealer from Chanel, and it's going to target aging as well. The claims are that with regular use, the under eye area is going to become better. Well, it is a makeup product, so still the most important product that you can use is going to be your skincare. You shouldn't rely on this one to actually fight the signs of aging. Of course, your skincare is going to come first. You just have to know that Chanel market this as a hybrid product between skincare and makeup. When presenting the Sublimage concealer, Chanel are going to accentuate on the skincare benefits that this concealer offers, whereas the claims of this concealer is that it is going to be a long-lasting 12 hours weightless finish and medium to high coverage. So what is the difference between these concealers? First of all, and obvious, is going to be the packaging. This one is more convenient for a lot of people. Many people were frustrated with the jar packaging of Chanel. Initially, I was frustrated at the jar packaging as well, but now I'm not, because I was thinking initially when I purchased and when I reviewed this concealer, I was thinking that as I keep using the concealer, it is going to get dry. It doesn't get dry at all. The consistency stays the same and the quality of the concealer stays the same. For a year and a half, it's safe to use it, or at least I've used mine for a year and a half. Next, it is a lot of product. It is so much that you can barely get through a whole jar because the smallest amount is sufficient for the under eye area, and a little goes a long way with this concealer. It feels moisturizing, it feels very nice on the under eye area. This concealer comes in the classic concealer packaging with a doe foot applicator. It's very comfortable to be used on the go. If you're traveling, this one is going to be more convenient. Another obvious difference is that this one, probably for some people who have dry under eye area, it might feel a little bit more drying, and definitely we would say that the Sublimage concealer is going to be more moisturizing compared to the Ultra Le Teint concealer. The Ultra Le Teint concealer is supposed to conceal dark circles, offer medium to full coverage, but it's not supposed to hydrate the under eye area. So if you generally suffer from dryness under the eyes, then obviously the Sublimage concealer might be a better option. I mentioned in my previous video where I reviewed the Ultra Le Teint concealer that your skincare is very important and is going to affect the way concealers are going to perform during the day. If your under eye area is dry, and for most people it is going to be dry, if it's not well moisturized, there is no concealer that is going to perform well. So first thing first, you have to focus on the skincare for the under eye area, because this area here, the skin is thinner and Concealers sometimes might crease if the skin is not well moisturized. So I would say that if the skin is really well moisturized, this concealer is not going to dry out the skin. It doesn't feel drying, but it requires a well moisturized under eye area. Whereas this one, even if your under eye area is not very well moisturized, it is still not going to feel drying because it has some moisturizing benefits on its own. So this one feels more moisturizing compared to this one, which feels slightly drier. My personal observation is that this concealer for me is more long lasting compared to the Sublimage concealer. Because I have normal to combination skin, during the day my skin tends to get oily, and I find that this one, while it's more moisturizing, it is not as long lasting on my skin as the Ultra Le Teint concealer. Which one is better? You're going to decide. We're going to see today on a wear test. Now let me show you a demo of the two concealers on each side of my face. Okay friends, and now it's time to test the two concealers. I'm going to use the Sublimage concealer on this side of my face and then the Ultra Le Teint concealer on this side of my face. For anyone who is new to my channel, I have normal to combination skin. I get oily during the day. I don't have a lot of issues in particular with my skin. As you can see, I don't have pigmentation and I don't have severe dark circles, but as every Caucasian, I do experience darkness right here in the very inner corners of my eyes. So that's what we are going to be targeting and what's that we are going to be looking at. Currently, I don't have any makeup on. I've already done my skincare and I have applied a sunscreen. So we are going to give these concealers a fair test, how they're going to perform for every day on top of my skincare and on top of SPF. Make sure to wear SPF. It's really important also under the eyes. So I'm going to be starting with the Sublimage side. I'm going to use the spatula. This one actually comes with a little spatula on its own. I already lost it, so I'm going to use a different one. And I am taking the smallest. You actually need the smallest amount of this concealer and it is going to last for ages. I think that you probably wouldn't be able to get through a jar of this concealer. So I'm going to get the smallest amount here with my finger, and that's even too much, I would say. I'm going to use the brush to blend the concealer. This one is actually a good brush. It's a really good quality brush. You can see that the smallest amount gets a lot of coverage, gives me an impressive amount of coverage. This concealer is actually really stretchy. And this is with the smallest amount of the Sublimage concealer, and I have to be honest, I forgot how good this concealer is. Just the smallest amount immediately brightens everything so effortlessly. Let's go ahead and try the Ultra Le Teint concealer on this eye to see how they are going to compare. Now this one comes without a brush. I'm going to use a concealer brush to apply the concealer. I'm simply going to press this into the skin. Okay, so we have the Sublimage concealer here and then the Ultra Le Teint concealer here. Let me know which side you prefer and let me have a look at it. Okay friends, let me know which side do you prefer. Is it the Sublimage better or is the Ultra Le Teint side better? I honestly have forgotten how good this concealer is and how amazing it feels, and it is incredible in terms of the way it covers dark circles and darkness under the eyes. It's very nourishing. It feels very nice. It feels very luxurious as well. Probably one thing that, probably the biggest downside of this concealer is actually the jar packaging. So this is what we have. Now I'm going to go ahead and finish off my makeup. I'm going to apply just a tinted moisturizer. I think I'm going to use only tinted moisturizer on this part of my face, the rest of my face. Okay friends, and this is going to be the finished look. I wanted to keep the makeup to a minimum. I used the Lancome skin tint all over my face, and then I used the new Chanel travel size loose powder. I have a review of this powder in case you're interested, and I compare it to the old powder. I am convinced that this one is different from the old one. The ingredients are the same, however, this one offers a lot more blurring than the regular size powder, and I think that this is actually because it's more finely milled compared to the regular size powder. With the new batches, this might have changed because I've had my regular size powder from Chanel for a few years now. So with the different batches, maybe there was a change, but my regular size powder from Chanel, it's not as blurring as the travel size powder. And we're back to the concealers. I wanted to show you the concealer, as you saw already in the demo that I inserted and in the videos that I inserted. You've probably seen that. So this is the Ultra Le Teint concealer, and this one is B10, and this is B10 from the Sublimage concealer. So this one relies on having really high pigment, and it has medium to high coverage to full coverage. Let's say medium, solid medium to full coverage. It's thinner in consistency. This one is more creamy in consistency, more moisturizing. As you can see, the colors are slightly different. So the Sublimage concealer is slightly peachy pink color, which helps to cancel and conceal dark circles effortlessly. So you're getting the same effect and the same coverage as you saw on the demo, at least on my face. I don't see a difference when I'm looking at my under eye area at the moment. They look perfectly covered. Both eyes look covered, and on both eyes I use a very small amount. So I would say that the Sublimage concealer relies a little bit on color correcting, whereas the Ultra Le Teint concealer is a classic concealer. So I'm going to come in the end of the day. I am going to have a very, very intense day. It's quite hot outside, so I'm going to change this, even though I love this top a lot. I wanted to wear it, but it's still not the fall season, thankfully. I prefer the summer season, but it's really, really, really hot outside. So I will see you at the end of the day. Hi friends, this is going to be the end of the day for me. It's been 9 hours since 9.5 hours actually, or close to 10 hours at the moment. Let me see. It's actually 10 hours minus 10 minutes, and I can't wait to remove everything because since I'm working with computer, I read a lot as well, and my eyes are quite irritated at the moment. So I was surprised, I have to say. I'm going to give you a close-up of how my face looks. And I'm very surprised that the two eyes actually, to me, they look quite similar. I don't see a major difference. So at the 9-hour point at the moment, the two concealers actually hold really nicely. I don't remember the Sublimage concealer being so long-lasting, but I have to say I haven't worn this concealer for more than half a year. So probably for 6-7 months I haven't used this concealer. I just sometimes forget about makeup products that I love, and I forget about makeup products that I have. So I haven't used it in a while. Maybe my skin has changed a little bit, I don't know, but I think that both sides look equally well. Probably on the side of the Sublimage, I'm starting to get a little bit more emphasis on a fine line that I have here when I smile. So this is the only difference that I see from now. But I think that the two concealers are amazing. The powder is a winner for me because I've never had such flawless skin. After 9 hours, I want to share with you a beauty secret that actually keeps my skin flawless during the day, and you can use this on any makeup products that you've used. So during the day, what I like to do is I like to take a tissue and peel it off. So this one has 3 layers. Okay, I like to peel it off. This is only 1 layer. I'm going to wrap it around my finger and I'm going to press onto the parts of my face that start to get oily or shiny, and this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this usually 1 or 2 times depending on the weather and depending on how my skin is going to behave. So just press and release, wrapping this around your finger. You only need one layer though. Then if you want to reapply powder, then you can go ahead and reapply powder. But first, do this one. Try this beauty trick. It's something that I have been doing for years. I think that this is going to benefit mostly people who have oily skin or combination skin. If you want more beauty secrets, definitely go ahead and check out my makeup masterclass series. I also have masterclass series dedicated to Chanel beauty and Chanel makeup. Thank you so much for spending time with me and for watching this video. Until next time, a bientôt!